Hey, welcome to Planet Hex. I'm Andrew Horn. I'm the author of a book called VHS Ate My Brain. The revised edition of that is out now, and the sequel, VHS Ate My Brain 2, The Revenge, is out very soon. So I have a bit of an interest in VHS and retro culture. If you're not familiar with the channel, I do talk about a lot of VHS tapes, a lot of cult movies, a lot of old stuff like that, music, games, cartoons, toys, the writing life, and a lot of other things besides that. So something that has been discussed a lot in VHS clubs lately, a lot of the groups I'm in, I've noticed a trend where this has been debated a lot. So that way, grading VHS tapes. We're going to get onto that in a moment. First, I'm going to tell you what I've been revisiting this week. Some pickups. No tapes picked up this week, but I have picked up and revisited some decent titles. First of all, which being From Dusk Till Dawn. I'm not a big fan of Quentin Tarantino. I know Robert Rodriguez made this, so Quentin Tarantino wrote it. I'm not a big fan of his. The film is a lot of fun, but what I most wanted with this is the second disc. The Full Tilt Boogie documentary is in there about the making of the film. Hello, William. You all right, bud? Hello, dude. Excuse the cat. So, yeah, From Dusk Till Dawn, that was fun. It holds up pretty well. The effects hold up pretty well for the most part, and Salma Hayek is awesome in it, as always. I picked up My Bloody Valentine 3D. Something I was really pleased about with this was that it includes the 3D glasses. So, yeah, this is a charity shop find. So, I'm not a big fan of remakes, but, you know, this was like 30p, so I can't complain. So, it's got the disc in it with a double-sided disc with the 2D and the 3D versions on it. And both pairs of 3D glasses. I love 3D glasses. They're so cool. In fact, I should put some on. This pair has never been used. The other pair has been used a few times, but this one, it's got an advert for Source 6 on it. That's a few ago, isn't it? So let's see how I look in these. Let's check. Oh man, that screws up my vision. How do I look? I think that's quite cool, actually. But yeah, it's a fun movie. Not a patch on the original, but things that very rarely are. But I thought that was cool with as it had the glasses with it. Death Becomes Her, which takes me back to being on dates with one of my early girlfriends. Went to see that at the cinema and loved it. The Waterboy, not a big Adam Sandler fan. But this has Fairuza Balk in it out of The Craft. So, of course, I'm going to want that because Fairuza Balk was amazing. Is amazing. What am I talking about? And lastly, I got National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Going through a bit of a 80s comedy renaissance at the moment. Wanting to revisit lots and lots of those. So, picked up the Christmas Vacation one. It's not as good as the original one, but I do find it entertaining nonetheless. And I've watched a load of stuff recently, which has been very satisfying and just keeping me happy, which I'm very grateful for. So, on to graded tapes. Now, this is an interesting topic I've heard a lot of people debating on VHS groups that I'm part of, some of them quite jokingly, and some of them very seriously, and some of them descending into arguments, but, you know, that's the nature of the internet, really, isn't it? So, the grading of VHS tapes, if you don't know what it is, it's sealing a VHS tape inside like a plastic shell, and it has a label across the top, grading it up to from 1 to 10 in terms of how good it is, how good a condition it's in. Now, I've seen this a lot already previously in the comic book scene. If you're not aware, I used to work in a comic book store for many years. I've written comics and I've been a lifelong reader of them. And grading comics, I sort of get because there are some issues. Like I've seen people grading Amazing Fantasy 15 with the first appearance of Spider-Man. I've seen them grading the first appearances of like Venom, Cable, Deadpool, and lots of DC stuff as well. But I was mainly a Marvel guy, and I sort of get that because you can have read the comic, but you want to preserve it. I sort of get that, but I wouldn't do it. I would bag and board them, but you know, acid-free bags and boards. But I don't think I'd ever slab anything because then I wouldn't be able to revisit it. And that's the issue that I personally would have with VHS tapes. The reason I collect VHS tapes and the reason I appreciate them is because I still want to be able to watch them. I don't just want them as trinkets because they would just fill the house up and have stuff that's taking up space for no reason. Personally, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it myself in my own collection. But I'm not every collector, and I do understand that people have different opinions on this. Some people may want to slab them for posterity if they've got, say, a mint copy of something. Some people may want to slab something if it's particularly valuable, so then they may get a larger sum when selling it on if it's been graded as, like, 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, completely mint condition, that sort of thing. But it's not something that I would ever do myself. And the discussion around it is interesting because I sort of see both sides. Some people want to preserve these things. Some people want to preserve them for their monetary value, or because they love a film and they just want to make sure it's sealed and safe and they can appreciate it as an objet d'art, if you like. But I'm one, I would rather have it on a shelf where I can access it. I can open it up, I can check the tape, make sure there's no mold, and that sort of thing. It does make me wonder if you seal the tape up like that, would it get tape mold? And would it just run rife? And next time you did ever open up the slab and open it up and it's just a block of white fur, it does make me wonder if that would happen. It probably wouldn't, but that's the things we think of. So I've had a look around online and found a load of places that do offer this service. So digital converters here. Should I grade my VHS tapes? And there's a load of examples here. Of course, they're going to talk about some of the heavy hitters, such as the copy of the Terminator that sold for a very high amount not so long ago, and that was graded. If you look there, that's been slabbed. It's got the grading label across the top as a 9.5, so our 8.5 was being mint. So that you can see the value in that, and that's apparently sold for $32,500. So yeah, I understand why that would be a thing. But unless it's something spectacular or something that's very dear to the collector, I wouldn't personally do it myself. Let's have a look at another one that offers this service. So UK graders, it's like that's all they do is grade. So that's not a bad price if you want to get it done. But to get this slabbed, it's 30 quid at present time of recording. So you can add things on: protective clear polybag for your graded acrylic case, cleaning service, UV casing upgrade, so that will stop the UV light getting in, material case thickness upgrade for a further 15, 3 photos of your graded item, front, back, and grading label, certificate, a 6-week turnaround if you want to have it quickly, a 7 days turnaround if you have it done very, very quickly. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. I would totally understand someone wanting to slab a copy of Back to the Future for a start, because it continues to be such an iconic film. There were, I saw, excuse me again, guys in one of the VHS groups I'm in had slabbed, I think it was Jewel of the Nile. And why not? Why not? Yeah, it's a cheap tape. It's not one that's particularly sought after, but it's a great film. And if it's special to that person, why shouldn't they? Why shouldn't they do it? So, as with everything, if you're a collector, if you're an enthusiast for something, you go your own way with it and you enjoy it your way, like Burger King. There's another one, Beckett, doing grading services. Start your VHS submission below. The leader in home video grading and encapsulation. Now, it's a bit of an eye-opener to me that this has become such an industry. Has this only just happened, or is this something that's happened over a period of months or years? It is a new thing to me entirely, so I'm not entirely sure how long it's been going on. Again, the prices vary depending on how you want it, how fast you want it. See, that looks quite nice. I think that's move that aside. I think that looks pretty good. So you've got the label at the top, 9.8 A++, makes it look fantastic. Keeps it safe. You know, maybe I'd do it if I had Tales from the Quadad Zone or 555 or something like that, but you never know. What's this one? CGAgrading.com. Coughing a lot tonight. Sorry, something's gone down the wrong hole. I'm fine. So the VHS pricing, North American VHS releases with a watermarked seal. So this is more a US service, of course. Some of these are mainly US, but I honestly didn't realize this was such a common thing. It must be happening a lot if so many people are running businesses about it and running these websites, because it's not cheap to run these things at all. But I can see both sides of the argument. I can see some people thinking it's cool and some people thinking it's really silly. I'm somewhere between myself. I may consider getting it done if I had a duplicate of something. If I want to keep one pristine and then one to watch, that's the old comic guy talking in me. You know, if you want to get something that was amazing and then you want to get another copy to just to read and handle, I understand that. It's like I'd understand some of these. Like, that's the Mario Brothers movie. What? Why would you grade that? A DVD of the Super Mario Brothers movie? Fair enough. Knock yourself out, dude. The future of collecting. It says here, investmentgrading.com. So this is, again, bringing up the copy of the Terminator, a copy of Jaws, all the ones that have sold for large amounts recently. What you do have to remember is, yes, those tapes sold for a lot recently, but not every tape will sell for that amount. Not every tape will sell high. Not every tape will have people battling over it. Some things I've had like that where people have fought over it and it goes for a high price. But if you're doing this solely to make money, make sure you're going to get back what you spend on the grading, and make sure you're going to get a decent price for the tape. You must do your research when it comes to what things have been selling for. So if you have a particularly rare tape, check that it is actually selling and it's not just an endless stream of buy it nows on eBay. Because things can look like they're worth a lot of money, but if they're still on eBay and they're all at buy it now, and they've not sold, they're not really worth that amount, are they? I'm amazed there's so many of these around. Another one, Rewind, offering grading of tapes and grading of CDs as well, grading of cassettes. You probably get anything graded. You probably get your grandma graded. That'd be good. This one interests me. I'm aware of Heritage Auctions, the world's largest collectibles auctioneer, and even they're offering like a valuable VHS guide. And thankfully, they explain that not every Disney tape is going to be particularly valuable. I'm grateful for that. But I'm just amazed that there is so much of this going on and so much of it available. So, are there actually any of these graded tapes over on eBay, and what do they look like? Let's find out. So I've done a search for graded VHS on eBay UK, and 12,000 results have come up, apparently. Let's see what's being offered here. Now, I see at the top, Godfather Part 2 has been graded, okay? It's in the States, I'm guessing, because it's £25 postage, but it's £1.78. That doesn't suggest it's going to go up very high. There's 3 days, 6 hours left on it, and that doesn't suggest to me that it's going to go particularly high. So I would be surprised, to be honest, if that makes back enough money to cover the cost of the grading itself. And that's a shame. I hope it goes up high for the seller, but you never know. RoboCop VHS sealed. Let's have a look at this one. This is graded 8. £48.77 postage. I'm guessing, again, that's the States. A lot of these look like they're American. But I'll just, for the purpose of this, I'll just keep this open like this. Okay, there's a British Harry Potter there. And the Philosopher's Stone for £200. And a Fast and the Furious graded VHS at £150. This is more the thing I'm used to, seeing comic books. You know, X-Men, I'm used to seeing comic books graded. There's a Halloween from 1978 there for £617 4p and 60 quid postage. Crikey. Terminator, Superman, Pumping Iron with Schwarzenegger in it. £232.32. Batman Forever, 93.98. That's crazy. I mean, the Batman is sealed, but do you think that grading a tape and slabbing it increases its value or reduces its value? See, I think in some cases it would raise the financial value, but I think that would be at the detriment of actually enjoying the item. But that's just me. That's just me. volumes of Berserk, Pulp Fiction, Lost World, Pokemon. Who would want the Lost World? But some of these, I just don't think they're going to sell for what people would hope they would. Although that Ninja Turtles one is good. Frame Roger Rabbit, Beavis and Butthead Do America. Fantastic. Scream with a rarer cover. Bucky O'Hare. Now you're talking. So I sort of see it for some tapes, but not everything. Someone's graded a screener of The Scarlet Letter with Demi Moore in it. In-store promo of Good Morning Vietnam, someone slabbed that. There's not even a cover on it. There's not even a cover image. But this is entirely up to the individual collector. What they do with those tapes is entirely up to them. And it's not going to suit everyone's taste. That is a nice looking copy of RoboCop though too. I see sealed. Yep, sealed as well. That's near mint, graded at 8. But I'm astounded that there's so many of these. I mean, this is amazing to me. This is crazy. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, it's one of the things in the UK you would see in bargain bins the country over, on VHS, on DVD. You couldn't pay people to take these away from shops at one point. They were so ubiquitous, and you would see them all over the place in charity shops and second-hand stores and things like that after the zeitgeist had moved on. And asking £200 for a graded tape that was incredibly mass market and mass produced on an astounding level, that seems a bit crazy. That seems a bit mad to me, but you do you. I'm not putting any shade on fans that want to do it. If that's what you want to do, go for your life. And this Fast and Furious, again, a very common film. Really common film. On VHS, on DVD, you did it for like 50p in CX. I'm going to go and see while we're on what Fast and Furious VHS is being asked for with without being graded. Let's see, £150 or £5.50 or £9.99 or £7.99. But if you want that added thrill of having it graded, go for your life. There's one. That's one for sale there for you. So grading, not really my thing, but I see the appeal to it. I see the appeal to some collectors and people that want to flip items and people want to display them in a certain way. But it's not personally for me. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. That'd be really good of you. I really appreciate that. And thanks for all the comments recently. And thanks to the new followers. It's been really, really awesome interacting with you down there. So get down there and not like that. And leave a comment. That would be great. I appreciate that. Please do like and subscribe if you like this sort of thing. Please do let me know your thoughts on graded tapes. I'd love to hear them. And please do tune in for the next episode of Planet Hex very soon. There's going to be some cool ones coming up. I've got some cool events I'm going to soon. So hit that subscribe button. I've said hit that subscribe button. I always promised myself I'd never say that and do the YouTube thing. It's your boy, that sort of thing. But I'm guessing it comes to us all eventually. So yeah, thanks for joining me for this episode of Planet Hex. Hey, I'm Andrew Horn. In 2014, I put out a book called vhsatemybrain, all about collecting VHS tapes and appreciating its dead format and the weird stuff that it brought to pop culture, and what's happened in the last 10 years in terms of the scene, collecting VHS and people's awareness and perception of it. And I love sequels, so guess what? It's tape time again.